I'm gonna give you the HDR settings for Gotham Knights and also share with you my first impressions with the game here on the PC. I am surprised. Everything I've seen on the internet about this game is the performance is garbage, shader compilation stutters everywhere, dropping below 60 on a 4090 with a 12900K. And on my PC right now, maybe they just fixed the game. Maybe. I haven't seen any shader compilation stutters, like zero stutters. The only problem I have with the game is that the cutscenes are locked to 60. Maybe that has to do with the game not being on full screen. Maybe that can be fixed. But aside from that, the game is running acceptable. So this is 4K DLSS and all the graphics max out. Ray tracing off and DLSS quality and zero problem, like the game is looking perfect. The HDR settings are just the HDR calibration app, so the game is supporting the system level calibration, which is fantastic. So if you set up your HDR calibration on this LG C1, it's 0, 780 and 780. The game is trying to output 797 nits. So the max CLL is 797, which is absolutely perfect. The only thing you have to do on this LG C1 is you have to lower the black level, because for every single auto HDR supported games or games that support the system level calibration, so far in my experience, this is what you have to do. Fine tune dark areas minus 16. Okay, this is always the case for every single game supporting the system level calibration so far, based on my testings. So this is going to get rid of that black level rays, and it's gonna be perfectly visible on the darkness. Of course, you have to play on a dark room for HDR, but it's perfect. Like the HDR effect is perfect. It looks fantastic. Of course, maybe this is not a amazing HDR. This is more like an auto HDR probably, but that's okay. I much rather have this than a 10,000 nits garbage HDR. This is much better. You don't have to do anything with the settings. Just open the game and it's perfect. So let's do a little bit of gameplay and see if we notice any stutters on the frame time. Any stutters. Let's see if we can drive the motorcycle or something. Call the bat cycle. Okay, perfect. This is the first time I am going to see that motorcycle. Let's see, how can I call the motorcycle? Tutorial, call the bat cycle. Okay, perfect. So let's see. So all the cutscenes are locked to 60, unfortunately. I don't know why. But yeah, maybe that can be fixed with a mod, or it has to do with full screen and window it. But let's see how is the performance with the motorcycle. Motorcycle's looking good. Is looking. I mean, I want to like this game. Okay, I am a huge fan of Batman Arkham Knight. That's one of the best games ever, in my opinion. Huge fan. Batman Arkham Knight at the beginning had a lot of issues. So let's see the performance now. You see, no stutters. Okay, yeah, just remove that thing from the screen. These tutorials, man. Why? You need a tutorial to drive. It's the same as every single game. So, no stutters. See, 93 frames. Minor drop there, but 82, 83 frames. No stutters. Yeah, minor drops here. But this is not a stutter. It's just a performance thing. Of course, I have a 5800 X3D and a 3080 12 gigabytes. But this is the first time running through the city. Look at the frame time. 100 frames, 90. So I'm getting 70. So yeah, I see that the game is kind of loading new areas, but it's not a stutter. So it's going down to 70 or 50. Yeah. So the game is So when you go a new to a new area, the game is having issues loading the assets, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as I saw it on the videos online. This is not as bad. So probably they updated that to improve it a little bit. So I have to do a wheelie here. But this is not game-breaking stutters. It can be a lot better, and I am going to try DLSS, balance and quality, and balance and performance, and see if I can get more. But the GPU is being fully utilized, and I'm getting 85 to 90 frames per second. This is acceptable. This is not bad. Of course, I don't want that, but hopefully it only happens at the beginning. But it is not game breaking. It is not terrible. Yeah, so I see it, but it's not dropping that much. It's not dropping that much. So of course, I don't want to defend the game. I want the performance to be flawless, but I was expecting this to be absolute garbage. Like, wow, like this is unplayable based on everything that I saw on the internet. But so far, it's running great on my PC. So I want to do a separate video about 30 frames per second on the consoles and all of that. But yeah, first impressions for me, some minor drops, but it is not terrible. It is not terrible. It's actually very good in comparison with other games. So yeah, let me know what you think. How is that running on your PC? Maybe my 5800 X3D is doing magic here on this game, and that's why I don't see the drops being so big. But aside from the cutscenes being 60 frames, locked to 60 for some reason, and those minor drops in performance, you clearly see that the game is trying to load the cities. When you're moving through the city, you see that it's kind of trying to load, but it's not a stutter. So you don't see a pause on the game. You can feel it, but it's not that bad, and that might be fixed in the future. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.